Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to the Nemesis Gaming League, where the grind continues. That's right, we are back with our second match of the night. We're going into the Prospect League. We have the 4-8 Flurry versus the 6-6 Wyverns. Your boy Psychonautic, back in the booth, ready to bring this action straight to your screen. And I am joined by the one and only Whelps legend, commentary legend, new guy here to Nemesis, but already feels like a longtime friend. Jeff Masters, how you doing tonight, buddy?
I'm doing all right, Psycho, and as always, you always give the most gracious of intros. This is going to be an interesting matchup. So right now, as you mentioned, Flurry are sitting 4-8, and Wyverns are sitting 6-6. So Flurry, honestly, they're not looking at the best possible spot for their league right now. So they're really trying to get this win tonight to even have a chance to kind of edge some teams out, because if not, they're sitting underneath. They're in 13th seed right now, so they've got a couple of places to try and move in the charts to try to get this. So this is really Flurry's game to try and get something going. Now, granted, they still have to, it's still betting on other teams like losing and other things like that, but you know, a win here is definitely what they have to get to try to be in that run-up position. And Wyverns are looking pretty good right now in the playoffs. They're in 4th seed. So I don't know. We'll see how this plays out on the pitch as the night unfolds.
Yeah, I agree. This game, it's critical. Absolutely critical for Flurry to get a W here tonight. And like you said, yeah, other teams got to lose and stuff, but as Flurry, what they need to worry about is just getting this win here tonight against Wyverns. Wyverns sitting pretty comfortably, not at the top spot, not at the bottom spot, but they are in the 4th seed, even though they have a worse record than the 5th through the 8th seed, because that's just how seeding works around here. Don't ask me. I didn't set it up, but that's how it goes down. So Wyverns sitting comfortable. They know, they can give and take a little bit here, but it looks like they're ready to join on up here, Jeff Masters. So let me get it from you. Let me hear. Well, actually, kind of have a feeling. I know you might have a little bit of a bias. So do you think that your Wyvern boys are going to be able to take this win here? Or do you think that we're going to see an upset from Flurry?
I mean, honestly, trying to be completely unbiased, I do think that the Wyverns are going to take this. But I'm not saying that it's not going to be close. I think Flurry still have a good shot, but I think as this game unfolds, I feel like just the Wyverns are going to have a little bit more control in the game and end up taking this one. But I'm not going to say it's a sweep, though. Might be like I'm going to say 3-1. 3-1 Wyverns.
3-1 Wyverns. All right. That's not a bad prediction. Wyverns definitely got the upper hand here. Flurry a little bit more of a Magic Pep just starting things off with the heat.
Yeah, he got a shot off the sidewall. C-Money tried to bring it around, and then you see just Davey there trying to come back as quickly as he could. Just not enough boost, not enough speed. So it's actually Flurry who strike first within the first 30 seconds of game number 1.
And that is something that you love to see. It. Oh my, C-Money out of nowhere claps back immediately for the Wyverns.
I mean, honestly, beautiful kickoff setup from Davey there. Magic Pep, not the greatest touch, but C-Money is looking for redemption after kind of mishandling that one ball back on his own side of the field. So it's 1-1 within 6 seconds of Flurry scoring. Just Wyverns basically saying, hey, we can definitely put some points up on the board as well, and nothing is free around here.
And you love to see it coming from C-Money as well. C-Money, an absolute OG in the Nemesis Gaming League. He has put so much time and energy into making this the great thing that it is. The only human being on the face of the planet with a Nemesis Gaming League tattoo, I believe, to this day. Big shout out to him. You love to see him popping off here on stream. With a minute gone from the clock, King Muffington trying to take things down. Magic Pep with the big clear off of it. And I just want to talk a little bit real quick, Jeff Masters, about these rosters. I'm not sure who you are aware of and who you aren't aware of. I'm sure you do know the Wyverns, but on the Flurry side, you've got the Sub-Zero OG Magic Pepperoni, also big time here in the booth, and then you have the GM Dan, who is nothing super crazy, but he's just an all-around solid player. He's got really good fundamentals, really good basics, and then Parallax, who even though he puts his name as below average, Parallax is also an OG here in the Nemesis League. He's been with us a long time and was with Rocker Man over in Evolution for a long time. And actually got to play with him, Jeff Masters, a little bit on Gladiators. And I got to say, the man is cracked out of his mind.
Well, shoot, we'll see as this game unfolds what really happens with that. I love to see it firsthand myself, honestly. I love a good competition out on the field. So with you talking about all these opponents that Wyverns are up, it looks like they could have their something cut out for them to try to win. The good pressure here as Dan finds a pass and gets a shot into the back of the net.
And the pass play coming out from Flurry. Magic Pep with the touch off the backboard. And you can see Magic going for that demo, going for that bump, putting the pressure on the defense, allowing Dan to get that touch through and taking the lead for Flurry with 2 minutes and 45 seconds left on the clock, almost halfway through game number one. Almost fell out of my chair. Activate boomer mode. I did not even realize the 2 minutes and 30 seconds left on the clock. Now we are officially halfway through as Parallax gets up there and makes a good touch and a save for Frost, coming off that last Novice game off of Flurry. I see Money in the midfield, sending it down to Davey. Davey trying to get the slow play, trying to get the fake, and Magic Pepperoni with a huge dunk. Parallax trying to get that one through, but C Money stands strong on the goal line, Jeff.
Honestly, that was a really sick amount of speed from C Money. I was looking at that play. I was like, there's no way C Money is able to get to this, but absolutely just turned on the afterburners and just got there. And now you see, now they've kind of turned it around and put Flurry on their back feet. A double commit there might be a little bit dangerous, but we'll see. Dan's got a little bit of space to work with, trying to get that chip play, but just so far, good Rocket League back and forth.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. Parallax doing massive work on the Flurry goal line. 3 saves so far. Dan with 2 himself, but Wyverns holding down 5 saves as well. Both of these teams just doing massive work in the offensive, in the offensive and the defensive parts of their game here tonight.
Honestly, oh, what a good pass, but it just goes unanswered. Dan takes it, he brings it back around.
Oh my! They didn't see it. They didn't see it coming. Dan, like he's rotating out, but psych, I'm gonna turn on this ball, hit an angle. C Money just not ready for it. Honestly, I'm not even sure. C Money probably thought that was gonna hit post and bounce out, because I thought it was gonna hit post and bounce out.
Well, I mean, you saw he went for the save on the other shot. I think he thought Parallax really had a shot there. C Money made contact. I mean, you couldn't ask for him to do too much more than that, but just damn, really quick on that rotation. That's some really good game sense to be able to like turn around that quickly and recognize the hole that was in the defense for the Wyverns. And look, I mentioned earlier it's going to be 3-1. I did not say the order in which the 3-1 happened. So we're just going to say that, you know, the first game might go to Flurry, but then Wyverns the next 3. I don't know. I'm just joshing around, but right now I'm seeing good Rocket League from both of these teams, although that miss from C Money could be catastrophic, but Muffington coming in to help him out. But we'll see what happens. 15 seconds left. Not a whole lot of time left, Psycho.
Yeah, not a lot, and I think Flurry's pretty much got this one in the bag, but I want to point out that I think you might have hit the nail on the head. I gotta say that BDE, Big Dragon Energy, they are known for the gentleman sweep, at least in my opinion. Like, I've seen that org in the different leagues, whether it be Novice, Prospect, Titan, whatever. I've seen a lot of gentleman sweeps come out of the Dragon org. So, you know, even though Flurry just took that game number 1, personally, I wouldn't put it past Wyverns to come back and take the next 3.
I mean, honestly, it's looking at the sheets. I mean, Flurry had more shots, but I mean, still, Wyverns had pressure on Flurry's net, and then the save game from Wyverns, they had some saves, but I think just a little bit more of that pressure from Flurry is really what made Wyverns crack. And unfortunately, a couple of just what the hell type of happen moments where you just weren't expecting the ball to go a certain direction, just kind of caught off guard. But that is just first game. I don't like to try to call an outcome based off of first games. because anything can change really quickly. A team can adapt just in a split second. So we'll see what happens with Wyverns and Flurry as we go into game number 2.
Yeah, we will see, and I gotta point out, I'm interested to see if we see King. I'm interested to see if we see King Muffington sort of step things up a little bit. He was pretty quiet in that game, and he's got a little bit of a reputation here in the Nemesis League. People know that King Muff definitely has pop-off potential. He's done it many times here on stream. So I'm kind of expecting him to sort of step things up a little bit, be a little bit more vocal during this game, and see if he's able to apply that extra pressure to Flurry here. But I don't know, Jeff Masters, if Flurry plays the way that they did in game number 1, Wyverns are going to be hard pressed. They played a solid game.
Yes, they did. Honestly, I feel like Wyverns kind of got a little bit too aggressive too quickly. They kind of full sent in a lot of situations, and there was no one in the backfield on a couple of occasions that really let the ball go the other direction rather quickly on counter strikes. So if they can kind of dial that back in, get their rotations around a little bit, they might be able to find some shots. They got a good breakaway right here, but see where Parallax puts this.
King Muffington off the backboard. C-Money coming in and trying to take a shot as well, but it's gonna go a little bit wide. Wyverns starting to heat things up here in their offensive end. Just about a minute gone from the clock.
Oof.
Still 0-0. Big demo coming out from King Muff. The ball gets sent all the way back. Muff there for it. He's going to take possession of it. Gets the 50 with Magic in the midfield. Davey sends it away. Davey going to follow it out of the corner. Gets another touch. Ooh. King Muff was there, but it's going to go out. Dan gets the clear for Flurry. And Wyverns are definitely starting to gear things up. They've got 4 shots now, Jeff, and Flurry has 0.
Yeah, they're definitely turning up the pressure, but also I like it. I like seeing C-Money back there because that was a big clear that definitely could have gone the other way had C-Money not even been there to challenge, so definitely good looks there. But yeah, bringing the pressure already. Just so far, Flurry have really just stood up to the presence that Wyverns have been trying to bring. Had a couple of pass attempts that just couldn't quite connect on. Even that one right there from Muffington, just a little bit of an awkward read, but they're having the pressure on the other side of the field, which is at least a good thing. You don't want to be pinned back on your own side, and they're getting out of it, and they are getting some looks at net, but just nothing is falling quite yet. I say you give it a little bit of time, and you might see something change.
There might very well. Parallax there, trying to get that ball past the defense. Flurry still without a single shot on net, though they are getting closer and closer. Davey with a huge clear. Davey trying to get the ball in front of Flurry's net. Oh my goodness, C-Money was there for the shot, but gets demoed by Dan, unable to get it through the defense. King Muffington sticking with it, but he leaves it. Parallax gonna 50 through C-Money. Parallax leaving the ball. King Muffington turns on it, trying to get it through, but Dan takes it away from him. As we see the ball go back and forth in Flurry's defensive zone. Magic to the mid. King Muffington was there to send that ball all the way out, and we are past the halfway point here in game number 2, still sitting at a 0-0 scoreline at this point. Jeff, this is, I don't know what to say about it. It's kind of weird to see this from game number 1. It's almost like both of these teams sort of took a step back and wanted to reevaluate.
Yeah, honestly, it's interesting to see that this game is still 0-0. Like you said, Flurries have not had a look at the net yet, but they've been all over the defensive side, and they have been shutting down the attempts that Wyverns have been trying to bring. But honestly, to see it's still a 0-0 clearly goes to show you that I think Wyverns kind of backed up a little bit, realized that they were getting a little bit aggressive on some of these play styles, but even then, I'm surprised to see that there is still 0 scores. We're even approaching the final minute of the game. Anything could happen still.
Anything could happen. Most definitely, we could see a 0-0 overtime, which would be quite the side. I do like me a 0-0 overtime, as the tension in those scenarios is extremely high, and you get to see what players have the clutch gene and which players have the choke gene. Magic Pepperoni out to the mid. Muff to take it away from him. King Muff with the boop out to the mid, but Parallax is there to make the stop. Parallax with the toss down to Dan. Dan to send it all the way into the corner. It's up. Magic Pepperoni's there, but he gets under the ball instead of on top of it, sending the ball up and wide. In the final 30 seconds now, winding down. We're still sitting at 0-0, Jeff. And Flurry still don't have a single shot on net.
Honestly, out of all that chaos, still not a shot on net. They had pressure there. I feel like they had it. That one moment where it was right in front of the net, that was it. And they just couldn't quite get it. Like you said, a little bit of a mistouch. Good demo from C-Money trying to open it up. I like the plays here, going for the physicality. And there it is. King Muffington puts it in.
King, I tell you, he's gonna show up. I knew it had to be him. He was the quiet one, and there he is. 7 seconds left on the clock. King Muffington showing up for his team, putting them on the board, and now Wyverns just have to play a smart 7 seconds of Rocket League as Flurry goes for, I'm not sure I think that's called the Spanish kickoff, but they go for a fake kickoff, but it doesn't work out for him. The ball touches. Wyverns take game number 2, and they tie the series up, moving into game number 3. You know they got to be happy about that one. I know you are, Jeff.
Hey, trying to stay as unbiased as possible, you know, being a caster and all, but yeah, I mean, it is nice to see, trying to at least get my prediction right for that matter. But I don't honestly know what to call that game. I'd like to call it a battle, but Flurry didn't have any shots at net. So, I mean, yeah, Wyverns were under pressure just by the ball being on their side of the field, but they never had to go for a single save. I mean, you see it across the board, 0 saves, 0 shots. So, like, I don't know. I guess it was an interesting scrim, and then just Wyverns kind of took advantage. I feel like those demo plays towards the end kind of opened up that opportunity for them to get that score. It was a demo opportunity, and then there was a little bit of just a faltering, and then King Muffington with a great read just slotted it in. So honestly, we'll see what Flurry does in this third one, but they've got to at least get a shot on net. At least try to get something, especially when they had the opportunity that I feel like they could have scored with. It was right there. They kind of had the Wyverns defense a little bit, you know, off kilter a bit, and they still couldn't take that opportunity to score. Got to take those shots, especially when you're banking on this game, you know, being the one that you need to win to try to make the playoffs for this season.
Yeah, they definitely need some more ferocity in them. Ferocity in them. They need a little bit of that fire under their butts to get them moving, if you will. However, I also think, Jeff, that a little bit of what we saw in game number 2, as far as what happened with Flurry, yeah, they just didn't. It's like they just didn't get there. They just didn't make it happen. But some of their offensive pushes were just unfortunate circumstances. You know, they put it there, but the ball, you know, got touched and pinched away, or it didn't count as a shot, which is kind of crazy because Rocket League counts almost everything as a shot. But you know, for whatever reason, you know, it wasn't in their favor. So we'll have to see here if they're able to pick up the pieces moving forward. And it looks like so far that they might be able to do just that.
Well, that's their first shot right there, and I like the look that they were trying to get the demo. I think it was C-Money, though, that just kind of avoided it. I couldn't quite see what the name tag was, but close attempt there from Flurry, but I like the play. I like that physicality play. I just mentioned it earlier when I was talking about the Wyverns. It is a great way to disrupt a team and try and get it off its rotations, and all they got to do is kind of keep some pressure. It's floating in front of the net!
Oh!
Woof!
Magic Pep coming in and finding that top 90. You love to see it. Dan missing his shot, but it might have faked out the defense a little bit. C-Money was just completely awkward in that situation and couldn't do much for his team. But Magic Pepperoni to send that one home, buried it in the back of the net, and took the lead for Flurry.
Indeed, and I think C-Money was trying to go for a floor pinch, but yeah, just left completely awkward on that transaction. So, good look for Flurry. Well, I mean, we've only played 2 games, but I mean, I guess the team that takes the lead first is the team that normally wins. So, and they got a second look at net right here. Magic Peep right down the center, easy slot. Look more like a field goal if you ask me.
Yeah, most definitely caught the defense lacking there, and nobody ready for Magic Pep to send that one home, but he did just that. and he got that insurance goal. Now Flurry's up by 2 points with 3 minutes and 5 seconds left on the clock, looking really good for them to take game number 3 at this point. If Wyverns aren't able to answer back, and they still got quite a bit of time, I gotta say, Jeff, but 3 minutes is a lot of time until you look up and you've only got 1 minute left. But it does. Ooh, Parallax is gonna come in and just sink a third one for Flurry.
I'm seeing a lot of whiffs on the Wyvern side, and it's forcing either the third that was banking on that shot to be hit to have to turn really quickly, and they're trying to clear the ball out, and there's no power there because they're just having to turn so quick to try to hit these shots. And right now, Flurry are taking advantage out of all these missed attempts from Wyverns to just make some good, solid contact and to just try to clear the ball out of their side of the field. And now they've got a 3-goal lead halfway through the game with maybe a fourth right here to the lower right side as Parallax slots it in.
Now, I'm not sure what the Wyverns are doing, but it's not correct. I'll just say that, as they are just, it's seemingly all over the place. They're everywhere on the field except for in front of the net. And Frost just having or not Frost, I keep going back to that Novice League. The Flurry just having they both start with F, and they're both in the same org, both snow related or ice related, but they're having a field day with Wyverns net at this point, Jeff. And I mean, it's 2 minutes left on the clock. There's plenty of time for Wyverns to come back, but Flurry's popping off right now.
Yeah, Flurry's is popping off, and Wyverns are just kind of struggling, like I said, to make some decent contact even there, right there off the back wall. Shot again, but luckily C-Money is there. But yeah, they're put in so many awkward situations. They might have a look here as Muffington goes for the cut, but I mean, they've got to kind of clean up their game a little bit here to have a shot at coming back. They've got time, like you said, but it is not a lot. 4 goals in 1 minute and 40 seconds. That time ticks away so quick when no ball is going into the net like it is right now.
Yeah, and they pretty much need to find the back of the net like right now if they want to start mounting this comeback. And I'm looking at the scoreboard here, and until just a second ago, there was 2 Wyverns that had double-digit points. And now I'll admit that points aren't everything. It's not like, you only had 100 points at the end of the game, so you didn't play well. That's not necessarily true. But when you're 4 minutes into the game and you haven't hit double-digit points, that usually means you haven't got very many clears, you haven't got very many looks on net, you haven't been doing too much, and sometimes it's in the rotation, but sometimes you're just having a bad game. And I don't know, right now, to me, Jeff, it looks like Wyverns are just having a bad game.
It does look like they're having a bad game. I feel like they're kind of reverting back. They're full sending, and no one's making contact like they need to. And so it's just really put them in this sort of, it almost feels like it's a thrown away game at this point. But still, they can come back in the later games. But I'm thinking that this third game is called, and they're gonna have to try and really dig deep in the final choices and chances to try to come back at this, because it's gonna be match point after this game, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that is very true. Flurry will be sitting straight in front of match point. They'll be 2-1 in the series. They'll only need one more win to take home the dub away from the Wyverns. But we'll move into game number 4. This one pretty much a done and dusted deal.
Ooh.
Oh my goodness. Dan, you're disgusting.
I mean, honestly, just at the end, I know it doesn't have as much pull, like, because it's the end and they already have a 4-goal lead, but my gosh,
Jeez.
What a passing play and a shot from Dan to put that in. Just a beautiful read. I honestly wish that would have happened at the beginning of the game, because that deserves so much more hype than being like a shot that just kind of gets chipped in at the end of a match that's already been won.
Yeah, no joke. That was like completely unnecessary, but probably one of the best shots that's been hit in Prospect so far. I'm not saying the best, one of the best, because holy moly, that was what? How did he get that? How did he find that angle? That looked like a Titan level shot to me.
I don't know, man. All I know is that right there, I mean, those goals that kind of go in towards the end, at least from my experience, they can really mess with your head as a team. Okay, let's just keep them at 4. Let's just keep them at 4, and we'll just take the loss and go on. And then they end up scoring another one, buzzer beater or whatever. It's just like, oh my gosh, Can I not just keep it there? So that might be a little bit of a morality shot for anything else than for Flurry. So we'll see. So Wyverns got to show up in this final game. Well, potentially final game. Otherwise, they're going home with a loss. And Flurries really want this. They're really fighting for this. Like we mentioned earlier, they need this to try to have a shot at getting into the playoffs. So they're going to fight like hell to try to get this win for their team. And so we'll see as this game unfolds what exactly is going to happen.
100%. Flurry absolutely needs a win here. And aside, oh, see money coming in with the soft touch right there. Perfectly redirected into the net. Magic Pepperoni did not expect that.
Honestly, I feel like he's like, there's no way C-Money has this. And then as he sees the ball coming in, he's like, oh crap, I need to go for this. And then just at that point, the ball is already sent. What a shot from C-Money, and honestly, a beautiful pass too. Getting it there, getting the read, and getting the early lead. This is what Wyverns, well, now that we're 3 games in, I think it's safe to say that whichever team scores first is kind of the one favored to win, because that seems to be what happens. And looking for a second shot, but almost falling in. Good pressure from Wyverns. Good to see them getting off their backside and with authority taking shots at net. And Flurry only have let one slip so far, but it's only been 1 minute and already a lot of pressure. Good rotations from Wyverns.
And this is absolutely, Wyverns have to win this if they don't want to walk away with the loss. Well, you know, it's worth mentioning, if the Wyverns lose here to Flurries, they're not out of the playoffs or the play-ins. It does put them a little bit further down the line, so closer to being out. If they end up dropping too many games in the latter part of the season, they can definitely find themselves out of the playoffs and play-ins. But this game's not going to decide that. C-Money coming in and burying that one above the defense.
You gotta love those plays where you just get on your own, just dodging right past Dan, such speed. C-Money popping off for his team in this game, and this is exactly what they need. C-Money showing up for his team. So they've got some really good momentum going forward in this match, and all they got to do is keep up this pressure, and they'll be looking pretty good going into Game 5.
With 3 minutes and 18 seconds left on the clock, Flurry still got plenty of time to turn this thing around, but they are down by 2 at this point. Magic Pepperoni almost finding that pass from Parallax in the midfield. Dan not back far enough. C-Money gonna get that touch. That is C-Money bags the hat trick out here popping off my man.
C-Money is playing the solo game today. He's got 1 assist from Muffington, but other than that, C-Money's like, hey, I'll take these shots in myself. I'm feeling good this game. I was getting a lot of whiffs last game, and you know, this one I'm feeling good. He's really showing up for his team.
He is, and you know, you love to see it. I've seen so many people and hear so many people say, oh yeah, you know, C-Money, he's all right, he ain't nothing special. You can beat him easy. But here he is popping off, just having a great night here. You love to see it. That man is a staple here in the Nemesis community. Been around for a long time, put a lot in, and it is paying off for him here tonight. He's been hitting the weight room. We're seeing he's feeling good. He's looking good, at least in game number 2 and game number 4. Not so much Jeff Masters in game number 1 and game number 3.
Yeah, I feel like, you know, it was like, it's like watching the Rocky movie, you know, like you had the one where you just lose, and then all of a sudden C-Money hit the Rocky montage and just like went into this game, and he's like, yeah, I feel good. I'm ready to take on Clubber Lang or whatever. So it's like, yep, you know, play the music and everything. C-Money's feeling good. He even had a look earlier, just a little bit high, but honestly, Wyverns, I can't just say this is completely C-Money. I'm seeing really solid rotations out of Wyverns. Not to take that away from them at all. They're playing a really more solid game than they were in the previous by a long shot, and getting some clears, getting a lot of pressure, getting some passing plays. Like right here, ball in front of the net, no one's there. Oh, Dan rushing in, getting that save. But 1 minute 30 left on the clock, 3-goal lead. This is almost exactly where Flurry had Wyverns in the game prior. And if they can shut them down like Flurry shut down Wyverns before, this is going to be a game number 5, winner take all.
Yeah, and I'm thinking it's going to be just that, because it's looking like the Flurry is just discombobulated at this point. It looks like they're just disorganized and out of tempo. They can't seem to get it together here in game number 4. And with just barely 60 seconds left on the clock, they are very, very in need. They're in very much need of the precious time that they have. And I'm stumbling all over my words, Jeff, but you basically get what I'm saying. I hope everybody else gets what I'm saying, that they don't got a lot of time left. They're in a delicate situation. They need to make something happen right here, right now, or Wyverns are going to face the game, or force the game 5.
Yep, approaching the final 30 seconds. Parallax trying to get something to happen, but Wyverns just like a brick wall right now, shutting down. This ball has stayed in the corner for a while, but no looks right now. But Dan might have one right here. C-Money was awkward getting back. So is this the shot that Flurry need to try to come back within 25 seconds, Psycho?
That is exactly the shot that they need, but I'll tell you what, they need something else. They need to score off of this kickoff. If they don't score off of this kickoff right here, right now, it's over in my opinion. In my opinion, there's just not enough time. And we'll see if they're able to do just that as it goes in favor of Flurry. C-Money pops it up. This is not looking good. Magic Pep was there, but Davey got there as well to send things out. Davey with the touch around Parallax. Muffington to send it down. Only 10 seconds left on the clock.
Ooh.
And the big demos coming out from Wyverns as they do everything in their power to secure it. Pepperoni not able to get it off the ground enough. And Wyverns going to take game number 4, sending us, ladies and gentlemen, into a game number 5. You love to see it. Wyverns versus Flurry. Who is going to take this match? Jeff Masters, do you still think Wyverns got this?
Well, you know, it's been one of those type of back and forth kind of nights, and now it's like difficult for me to exactly say who I think is going to win. This carried on longer than I thought. Flurry put up a good fight. Wyverns had a really good run like really solid run. If they're continuing like that momentum, they're unstoppable in game 5. But because this has been sort of a bipolar match for both of these teams, like they have really solid game, then they just have a game where it's all just not connected, all disconjoined. And I don't know, this might just be one of those back and forth nights where now Flurry's going to come out on top. But if it's by momentum alone, then Wyverns has got this hands down.
Yeah, no, I don't know what side to take myself. I think it could go either way at this point. If the pattern continues, Flurry's going to take this game right here as they took game 1-3. And so by pattern, taking game 5. However, man, in game number 2, we saw King Muff step up to the plate. We saw him pop off for his team and get that W. And in game number 4, we saw C-Money do the same and absolutely just almost single-handedly take on Flurry. I think if Wyverns want to win here, it's going to be Davey's turn, and Davey almost getting a beautiful shot. But I think, honestly, Jeff, that's what it's going to take. I think Davey's got to step up in this game.
Yeah, honestly, yeah. I feel like, and not just Davey, it's just, I mean, yeah, you were mentioning the pass play from King Muffington. I feel like everybody kind of, for Wyverns, needs to show up a little bit more, not so it's solely on C-Money. They had a really good shot there. Davey had an amazing air dribble, but then they like full sent and neither made contact, and it forced them back onto their own side. Luckily, they've been able to recover quite quickly and get it out of there, but they've got to be careful not to get too anxious on attempts where they feel like they can slot it into the back of the net. Because it's those times where, you know, those counter strikes are so deadly. You don't realize how fast the ball is moving until you have to try to turn around with very little boost and make a shot. Pressure coming in, but so far the Wyverns holding strong.
Yeah, 100%. And, you know, the higher in the leagues you go here in Nemesis, the more deadly that counterattack becomes. You know, in the novice league, you'll see people hit a counterattack and they just bang the ball and then they're not sure where it's going and it doesn't go towards the net. It goes over into the corner and then the ball gets overturned. Magic Pep with the shot right there. But in Prospect, you know, those counterattacks, like you said, they become deadly. You get players in Prospect that will slow the game down, do know how to make accurate shots. Just like that. Parallax coming through, getting the first goal for Flurry, taking the lead and controlling now the pace. Flurry, this is not good for you, Jeff. This is not good
I know
for you.
it's not. I know it's not. And hey, I made one too many of those mistakes myself. You think you've got the clear coming across, and then you just kind of slot it off the side of your car, and it doesn't catch air, and it's a perfect pass right to the middle, unfortunately. But C-Money right here, showing up again for the Wyverns, scoring the equalizer.
See, Money is on one tonight. He is just there. Muffington, I'm not sure if he missed the ball or if he purposefully faked, but it did work to fake out the defender, and C Money just had an open lane, sent it straight through. C Money's got that accuracy tonight. He's firing on all cylinders, and if Flurry doesn't shut him down, is he really? Oh no, I thought he was about to get a double, but Flurry gonna take that one away. Davey keeping the pressure alive for Wyverns. Parallax to pop it out. Parallax trying to find a second touch, but Dan gets up in front of him. Is gonna just jumble things up a little bit. Is Flurry trying to get back on the offense here. Parallax gets it taken away from him. C Money in the corner. Muffington to follow. Muffington with it. Pops it up. Parallax to take it away as we reach the halfway point here. 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in game number 5. This is the one for all the marbles, ladies and gentlemen, and we are tied at 1-1. You love to see it. Jeff, do you think that Wyverns have the edge at this point?
Oh my gosh, they're under a lot of pressure right now. They've been able to hold it off so far. Counter-strike attempt right here could be it to score. Davies showing up. Honestly, I have no idea what just happened there. That was such a quick turn of events, but the Wyverns ended up capitalizing off of it.
They sure did, and it was by Davey. I hate to say it. I'm not trying to toot my own horn here, but I said Davey had to show up, and here he is. Davey showing up. 2 saves, 1 goal. I mean, what can I say? I feel like a prophet right now, Jeff.
Hey man, go ahead, take it. You can take that. Your predictions are better than mine right now. Currently, I thought this was going 3-1. Now we're sitting 2-2 in game 5, and but still Wyverns looking like they could win it, but a lot of time left on the clock. We'll see as it continues to go. Some good pressure here from Davey. Can he get the pass out mid to Muffington? Oh, just misses that, and that one might be cleared away.
And plenty of time definitely left on the clock for Frost, but historically so far in this series, whenever and I said Frost again, excuse me, I mean Flurry, but whenever Wyverns have gone up in this series, they have not, I don't think that they've lost a lead yet, if my memory serves. My memory is Boomer style though, so it might not be serving right. I apologize.
No, I believe you are right there. If Wyverns have gotten a lead, I do not think they have given it up.
There you go, there you go. And with only 60 seconds left on the clock, Wyverns are leading. Wyverns are looking to take this. Davies there. He's gonna put it in the bottom corner. Holy placement.
C-Money gets a good 50, sets it up perfectly, and Davey, just like a rocket, up to that ball, bottom left side. I don't think he was expecting to slot it there, because Parallax was really trying to get back to get that. A 2-goal lead at 50 seconds is a really good spot to be, but Davey's looking a little awkward, going for the squishy and nails it. So Davey is really popping off for his team right now.
He is popping off for his team, and that's exactly what they needed. All 3 of these Wyvern players have popped off in their own respective games and been able to win the game every time they did. However, I don't want to count Flurry out yet. 30 seconds left on the clock. They're down by 2, but anything is possible, ladies and gentlemen, and this Flurry roster definitely has the potential to make something happen, though what we're seeing right now is not really working out in their favor, as Wyverns are keeping it in their defensive zone, and we are winding down to the final 10 seconds here. Wyverns still up by 2. Flurry has to do something right now.
Oh,
and
no!
C-Money just gonna find one for the road. C-Money sticking the dagger directly in the heart of Flurry. It's so painful.
You see, I'm not going to blame Parallax. You're trying to full send the squad. You're trying to make that offensive turn, but you just didn't realize how fast C-Money is to that ball and just takes an easy shot in, really the security goal that they need. So it might not have happened exactly how I thought it was going to, Psycho, but Wyverns are going to be your Game 5 victors. after a long fought battle between the both of these teams.
Long fought indeed, and holy, what a match. GG's to both of those teams. Great gameplay. You love to see that type of stuff right there. Game 5 win for the Wyverns, going to 7-6 in their season record, and Flurry with the loss that might be the end of their season right there. They still do have 5 matches, but I'm not sure. I think that they need a miracle at this point for them to make a play-in spot. And, that feels bad, Jeff, but, teams, there's so many teams that got to sit down and take the L after the regulation because there's only so many spots for the play-ins and playoffs. Wyverns looking hot, though. Definitely going to see them in playoffs here this season.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, like you mentioned, good games to Flurry. Really showing up. That was a heck of a performance against the Wyverns. It was a little bit bipolar sometimes, but when Flurry was on, they were really on, and it was honestly a really hard fight. Congratulations taking that even all the way to Game 5. I definitely did not see that coming. But still a little happy, trying to be unbiased, but Dragon Energy, part of that org. So happy to see the Wyverns take that victory in the end. But honestly, I was just some really solid Rocket League watching both of these teams pop off in their each individual ways. I was happy to be a part of it, Psycho.
Yeah, I agree. You love to see that type of content. I love to see Game 5s, Game 7s. I love to see the underdog stories, the underdogs come back. Flurry almost able to do just that, almost takes the W as the underdog, but Wyverns just clutched up. That's exactly what we expect to see from any team in the Dragon org. That's just what they do. They're known for. It's the only org to produce a team with an undefeated. Well, I think there might be more than undefeated, but the first team to go undefeated in Nemesis is from the Dragon org, the Drakes, and that was just a great season for them and a great game from the Wyverns there. You love to see it, and that wraps up our game number 2, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take a short break, and whenever we come back, we're going to be staying in the Prospect League here tonight, where we have the 8-4 Blackhawks going up against the 7-5 Warhawks. That's a tongue twister, and 2 bird related teams that are going up against each other, Jeff, and I think it's going to be a really, really interesting game. Both of those teams have a lot on the line.
Yep, indeed. So definitely stick around. You're not going to want to miss it. But Psycho, thank you so much for having me out here. It was a pleasure, sir. Always great casting with you, my man.
Always a pleasure. And not thank me. Thank you for spending your time coming up here with me. It was a great time. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to take a short break, couple of minutes before we get back into the action. So you don't want to go anywhere else. Stick around and see what we got going on here.